Welcome back, everyone. This is Donnie, and you're watching Diamond Painting by Donnie. And what I'm doing right now is I'm going to attempt to iron out these little bits of wrinkles in this canvas that used to be puckers on this painting. This is my Black Panther. Kind of see it through the little bit of parchment paper I stuck on the edge because it was exposed when I replaced the cover on this. So I just set that there until I can replace this piece. So I've never ironed a canvas, so don't take what I'm doing as how you are supposed to do it. But this is what I'm going to try to see if it works. I'm not going to do the entire thing. I'm only going to do these areas where you can obviously see where the puckers were, because the puckers are now gone, but the wrinkles are still here. The adhesive is adhered to the canvas, so the adhesive is actually kind of in a divot, so we need to get rid of the wrinkles. Normally I would just keep it under books or keep it flat and wait for them to go away, but I don't know if that's going to happen with this because of the fact that these were large puckers that I removed from this canvas. And if you want to see how I did that, I will link it right there in the eye, and you can go take a look and then come back and watch this afterwards. So I'm taking little tips and tricks that I've watched from other YouTube channels. This first part that I'm going to do, I took it from Brandy's video on ironing canvases, and I will link her video up here in the eye. And what she does is she squirts a little bit of water. I have a large bottle, but it's on the finest mist, and I'm just going to squirt just the tiniest bit on there so the canvas is a little bit wet. And I'm using a mini iron. Sorry, my cord is caught in my chair. Get that out. There we go. And I have it on the lowest setting, which is 1. It goes up to 4. And I am going to just start ironing these spots on the lowest setting. I'm going to keep moving. I'm going to hope that it comes out. Moving in circles just to keep the momentum going, so it's not in one place. I might need to turn it up a little bit. I don't know. Like I said, I've never done this before, but I'm just kind of ironing it over the spots where it was wet, because it did go a little further than I wanted it to. And just along here where this little one is up here at the top. And this is almost such little heat, I can actually kind of touch it there with my hand. So it's very, very low heat. Just kind of keep moving until you see that the wrinkle is gone. Like that one's gone there. I can still barely see these here, so I'm gonna keep rubbing at them until I no longer can see where the wrinkles were. Get here in the center. Now I haven't fixed the bubbles on this canvas yet, so I don't know how that's going to affect the ironing. I don't know how the ironing will affect the bubbles, so we'll have to take a look here in a minute. You just keep on rubbing. Kind of hurting my shoulders here. still kind of wet right in here in the creases. I may have put a little bit too much water on. Didn't gauge it very well. Now, all these canvases always say do not iron, but if you're careful and you know what you're doing, or you're not worried about ruining the canvas, like this painting, this was a total disaster. So whatever I do to it will be an improvement. So I'm not worried about it. This is my replacement canvas. The first one was worse than this, so I figured perfect time to try out these things. So if you aren't sure of what your abilities are with ironing out the canvas, or something new that you're not sure about, do it on something that you don't care if it gets ruined, just in case things go south. I just have on this the plastic that came with it, the covering that came with it. You can put parchment paper over if you are extremely worried about something happening to it. Just make sure when you use parchment paper to test it on the canvas, because I've heard people say that parchment paper has ruined their canvas, and I've also heard that they have two different sides. So I didn't do anything up here with the ironing, but here I've already tested this. But if you lay it down and it comes up easily, then you're good to go. And test both sides just to make sure that both sides are equally going to come up properly. And with this one, they are. So I'm thinking of just replacing this entire covering with parchment paper. This is just parchment paper I bought at the Dollar Tree, and this is the stuff that some people say that doesn't work for them. But this is meant to work up to 400 degrees in the oven. So if you get your iron hot, and I mean, this can withstand that much heat. So I don't know what it'll do to the actual painting at that temperature, but it's meant for high temperatures. So if you're overly cautious and don't want to use the plastic cover that comes on these, use parchment paper. And whatever you do, do not use wax paper. That is the worst thing you could put on here, other than just regular notebook paper, because it will not come up. Okay, I see wrinkles down here that I did not get, so I'm gonna put it up setting to 2, and we're gonna try it down here. It's not completely warmed up to 2 yet, but it's warming. I don't know if this is water or what, but you can see right there. And you can actually see where, oh no, that's the actual painting. Thought that it kind of left a watermark, but it didn't. I'm just not sure what's going on with this crease right here, why it's still looking wet. Just work on these wrinkles right here real quick, and then I'm going to flip this over. Okay. All right, let's give this a gander. All right, well, it looks nice and smooth on the front now. Let's check it out. Oh, beautiful. The one that I had right here, you can't even tell there was a pucker. Even in the light, it's hard to see. Well, you can see that it was right there. But I can't see looking on, straight on from here. There is no deviation in coverage at all. Let's look at the spot where we had the large one, and you might be able to still see an indentation from it being that way, but I don't know. No, you can't see it. I believe, oh yeah, it was right in here. You can kind of see it now, but not as easily as you could before. And let me look. That is a success in my book. It's a little bit of bubbling going on right there, but there's no puckers. So the puckers are gone from what I did in my previous video, and the wrinkles are no longer there to where it's dipping down into it. It's completely flattened. So I call this a success in my book. I burned my arm on my little iron. So I hope this helped somebody. It sure helped me because this was an experiment, and I am truly, truly happy with it. And now that, you know, I know how to do this, this will save me so much headache in contacting stores. I would still give that store a low rating because of the fact that puckers shouldn't happen. It doesn't matter what anybody says, they shouldn't happen. It's not something you did. It is something that happens when they are laying the adhesive, and they shouldn't happen. So I will, you know, do that in my review. But now I actually am able to use this canvas, and I salvaged it. You know, I'm not going to have to just toss it out because of the fact that it was so horrible. So I hope this helped somebody. I am totally stoked that it worked. And this is a lifesaver for me because I don't want to have to pull out my big iron and put the ironing pad underneath and all that, because this is so small and it's easy to handle and manage, and it's got a super long cord. And I do have this linked on my Amazon page, which you can find down below in the description box. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I will see you in my next video. Have fun diamond painting, and don't forget to sparkle wherever you go and whatever you do. Bye, everyone.